Hi guys, hope you're all keeping fine. Today we're gonna attempt to save this amazing wedding butcher, this celebrated. So as you can see, it's a nice razor, however, the scales here have been damaged, and most importantly, the blade itself. It's like a real bread knife. It will really need some heavy work to remove a bit of steel to end up with a correct, decent edge. So we're gonna need a lot of protective tapes to put on the spine. We're gonna try first to use the Atoma 400. So it's the diamond stone. It's a very aggressive one, so I don't really want to damage the spine, so I always prefer to put a bit of tape on top. Because this stone is so aggressive, of course, the tape won't last long. So here we go. We make sure that there is no bubble under the tape. I would usually use a Sharpie for the edge, but here there's no point. Bit of water. We make sure that the water goes everywhere on the stone. And we start. So looking at the work to be done here on this blade, don't be afraid to put a bit of pressure when you apply the blade on the stone. I'd say even with this stone, it will take a while before having a very flat edge, and that's it. The first layer of tape is gone, so we need a new one. Again, I could have probably lift a bit more the spine to be out of not on the stone, in order to not use so many tape, but that's fine. Look at that, that's it. Most is dents, sorry, are gone. So yeah, it's not bad. Now here we have two solutions. Either I will level the whole edge at the same level, or I will just try to make a little smile just there at the end of the edge, just on the heel. And that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna put pressure just on this spot, so we should have a nice round heel without using the rest of the edge. So I'm just focusing on this single spot, trying to recreate a small round tip. That's it, not bad. Again, a new tape. So now I'm moving to the X strokes to rebalance the bevel. So make sure that your blade is fully flat on the stone. That's it. Not too bad. So that's the edge under the microscope after the Atoma 400. So we have a nice edge that we can start working on now with the next stone. So the next stone will be the Shapton 1000. It's a really good stone to start shaping the edge. So in order to remove quickly the marks left on the edge from the Atoma 400, we will use the same stone, the Atoma 400, to build a small slurry on the 1000 Shapton. That should make it quick and easy to remove any marks on the edge. So what I've noticed on many wet-end butchers, and this one also, is that blade is often slightly wrapped. This one is wrapped a little bit on the tip and on the heel, so we will have to slightly bend, like for a smile, the blade when we're going on the stone. So we'll have to play with the wrist. Otherwise, if we go flat, only the middle part of the edge will be properly honed. And I'm cutting the slurry with water to be at the end only with clear water on the Shapton. So if properly done, after the 1K, your blade should be able to cut your arm hair directly by putting the blade on the hair without touching the skin, just on the fly. Yep, it's not too bad. But yeah, it's not bad actually. It's not bad. That's it. That's the edge after the 1K. So I would say 95% of the Atoma 400 marks are gone. That's what we want. So now we can move to next stone. So we clean this one. Make sure to dry it as much as possible. And we're gonna move to the Shapton 5K. Again, I'm not doing that on all honing session, but it's good sometimes to raise a bit of slurry. And it's allowing you also to flatten the Shapton and make sure it's perfectly flat. So a little bit of slurry on it, and we go with it. At this stage, you can just use the X strokes. That's perfectly fine. We make sure that every single part of the edge has been covered and the stone went on it. If we don't anyway, we'll see it under the microscope. After a certain point, you should feel the blade kind of sticking to the stone, like like if there was oil on the stone. This is a good sign. That's it. We're done with this one. And now usually I would use this stone, the Ivai Tiny LV5, so a Japanese natural stone, but I got myself a little crazy and I bought myself a new stone. Much bigger, much heavier, much older also. It's Nakayama LV5++, so supposed to be harder also. It's a stone from Kyoto mines. Came originally with a original stamp. Well, I don't care much about stamps, so I flattened the stone with the Atoma 400, and the stamps are almost all completely gone now. But the goal for me is really to have a good honing stone rather than just looking at it. So a bit of water. And now with the Japanese stone we will use Japanese Naguras, which are smaller stones to raise slurry. So this one is an Asano Nagura Tenjyou. So it's a grade around, I would say, 6 to 8k. That's it. Now you push the slurry towards you. So you start with the razor on the slurry. And again, X strokes. You don't need to go fast, you just need to make sure that you're covering the whole edge. Need some nice X strokes. Slightly twisting the wrist with this blade from heel to tip. Make sure that you see the light reflecting very well on the edge, and then microscope. That's where you see the magic of the JNAT, Japanese natural stones. All previous stones marks are gone. We have a very nice, very well balanced edge here. Now we're gonna rinse the slurry, and we're gonna use the next Nagura, which is an Asano Nagura Tenjyou. So more around 8 to 10k, 12k, depending on how you dilute it. Again, nice slurry, put it near you, and you start. So the good thing is, because the grit is so fine at this stage, you don't need to change the tape anymore. Okay, now we should be done with this stone. Make sure to be very careful when you clean the blade, it's very sharp. We are removing the excess, the rest of slurry. So now usually I would move to a Tomo Nagura, this one, but that was used on my other stone, so it's not really relevant for this stone, although I could try. But with this new stone, I got another stone, which is this one, and the seller didn't really know what stone it was. He said I could probably use it as a Tomo Nagura with also this one, which is a bigger grid, so I won't use this one. So I'm gonna try to use it as a Tomo Nagura. However, I have still some doubts that it's fine enough. To me, it looks like a bigger grid than the Tomo Nagura. But let's see. So looking at the slurry here, it definitely not looks very fine. Well, look, if it's not working, if it's not finer, we'll have to redo a session with the previous Nagura, the Asano Mejiro. That's the amount of tapes I've used so far. Alright, so yeah. It's not bad, but it's not better. And I think he made it worse actually. You can see some marks now. So it's definitely not the right Tomo Nagura. So I won't use this stone as a finishing anymore. So what we have to do now is to go back on the Asano Mejiro. And that will be our finishing stone. I will probably buy in a later stage an Asano Koma, which is the most fine Asano Nagura that exists. But today I guess we can finish with the Mejiro. We will, in this case, cut the slurry with water, which will make it finer. And now what we can do is to just have the blade with clear water on the Nakayama base stone. So that's a creator on 15 plus K. At this stage, really no pressure. Just the weight of the blade is enough. That's it. You're done. Make sure that when you dry your blade, you don't cut yourself. Here we go. We have a very nice, very balanced edge. So that's a lot better than when we got it with the big dents. So now what we're gonna do is go on the strop. I'm using a horseye strop, and we're gonna put 150, I would say 200 max laps on the stropes. That should be fine. These stones, won't use them anymore, no need. And what we do after the strop is just, I like to do a hanging hair test. That's the test. So the goal is really to take a hair and just drop it on the edge, and it should cut itself instantly. We need to do that on all parts, really all part of the edge. Oh, that's it. So you can't hear it. This blade is not very noisy, no noise feedback, but you can see the air jump. And the ultimate test is a shaving test. So for this American razor, I used an American soap kit made from the Holy Black. I really like the scent and the quality of this soap and the aftershave. I have to say I got a really good shave here. So I'm really happy I restored this razor. I hope you liked the video. Thank you. Goodbye.